Hi, today we discuss a very important part of marketing jargon, if you like, but really structurally a very important part of marketing called the marketing mix. A lot of you would have heard about this or heard it in the form of the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, place, and promotion. This is a really important part of marketing around which a lot of strategic thinking is structured. We look at how it's actually used, but let's first understand what are the 4 P's, what do they mean very broadly. Let us start with the first P, which is product. Product is what? It is essentially a product or a service maybe for which a person pays money, for which your needs or wants are satisfied. Talking about money, we come to the second P, which is price. Price is the value that you ascertain to a product and the customer pays that price. The third P is really important, and it's place. Place is a slightly neglected part of the 4 Ps. It depends on who's really looking at it. Many people would say that this is not really part of marketing, but it is. Place is access. How does a customer or a consumer access your product? It deals with the various channels involved to get the product from maybe the manufacturing or the company side right to the consumer or your customer. The final P is promotion, the most important, the most glamorous, and everyone talks about this, right? What are the ways in which you take your brand forward? Is it direct sales? Is it direct marketing? Is it pure advertising, or is it PR? Promotion is the most talked about marketing tool. Very important, but it's the 4 Ps which actually make this entire set complete. The marketing mix is extremely important because it helps us in our decision making process. Let's take product. Normally we do a lot of differentiation with respect to the product. What kind of product design features would be required? Are there branding guidelines which are important? Is there a product mix itself, that one product is related to another? How do we scale up the entire architecture? Will there be discounts, after sales services that we need to be careful about? All this comes under decisions which are related to the products. So a very important part of our marketing mix. Next, let's move on to price. The second P, and extremely tricky, I think, because while you can research various parts in marketing regarding the customer, regarding the product, price is one which is very tricky. At times you just need to take a call yourself. But broadly, you need to be very clear about what your pricing decisions are, what your pricing strategy is. Is there going to be promotional discounting to the consumer? For distribution, are there various types of rebates that you give? So all this comes under the gamut of pricing. Also, of course, at each time you need to keep thinking, what is the price value perception of your product? How do the features of the product relate to the price? So this is tricky, complicated. Like I said, formal market research also may not work. So there's a little bit of instinct, it's a little bit of art and craft and understanding how to manage pricing. Many companies keep it very competitor based, that works, but I think it's a lot more holistic than that. So the second P, pricing, which I think is the most tricky and complicated of the lot. The third P, place. Probably this is the most unglamorous or deglamorized of the entire 4 Ps. I mean, who cares about distribution, right? But no, like we had discussed earlier, distribution is important. It's how your customer gets access to your product. FMCG companies, they know if they are not at the place where the customer requires the product, it can easily be substituted, right? So which are the channels that you'll be looking at? How is the manager of the channel? How are we going to look after them? How are we going to monetize them when required? Are there channel discounts required? Even logistics and storage comes as part of distribution. So very important, not focused P if you like, but channel or place is extremely important, and lot of decisions with respect to product, whether it is a new launch or whether it is upstocking an older product, comes in this purview, in the gamut of place. The fourth P deals with promotion. Very, very important. A lot of our budgets are stacked over here. What kind of a promotional mix will you have? What balance will you have between advertising, direct sales? What kind of media strategy will you have? Which media would you give more emphasis on? What kind of messaging strategy will we have? What are the kinds of messages which will resonate with our target customer? Very important. What is the frequency of this messaging? Therefore, this final P, the fourth P, like we talk, promotion, becomes extremely important, because a lot of our direct interaction with the customer or consumer is stacked over here. A lot of our monies and budgets are also put around this final P. So think wisely, think deeply, and we must understand all the four P's, and my favorite is actually promotion. As we have seen, the marketing mix appears to be just four areas, but they have immense impact on our marketing planning as well as our marketing execution. Where do you actually use the marketing mix? There are no fixed rules, but the way I kind of prefer to do it is do a broad level examination of your four P's once your market landscaping and your SWOT analysis is done, right? Figure out how you're going to broadly use your marketing mix, the four P's. Then once, as you go through your marketing process, once your segmenting, targeting, positioning is done, you've kind of thought about your messaging, that's where you go into the granular details of all the four P's of marketing, how you can use each, right? Because before you make the programs, final programs, which is your promotion, examine in depth each of the four P's. One very important way in which you can use the marketing mix is to look at it at a strategic level. Where am I going to differentiate? Normally one would think that the product is where you differentiate, right? You have a differentiated product. Now two things. One, that may not be your only source of differentiation. Second, today not every product is highly differentiated, and in every category you may not always have a differentiated product. Therefore you can look at other three P's as a source of differentiation. Can your channel be different? Right? Can you, e-commerce many years ago, it would have been a revolutionary source, right? Not everyone would go to this channel to, sell their products. For example, promotional mix. The way that you promote and the content that you use for promotion, can that be different? Right? So pricing we talked about. Now your pricing strategy can be different to the existing pricing which is prevalent in the system. We talked about customer pricing. You can actually break up the entire system and have a differentiated pricing system. So each of the four P's can be an important source of differentiation. So friends, today we learned a very important part of the marketing journey, which is the marketing mix. I hope you enjoyed it, and that's Abhishek signing off for today. Thank you.